So I'd mentioned earlier in the program that I was going to touch base a little bit on a little bit of the, shall we say, negative views of the Mexico tapings in general. So I had read a lot of static on Twitter, both from just regular fans and obviously you know what kind of writers, that the Mexico City tapings were a bad idea, that it didn't make sense for them to go there, that there was too much... Here's one for you. There was too much Mexican talent on the Mexico tapings. Let that one sink in for a second. And that they didn't build for Bound for Glory good enough. Now, obviously, the build for Bound for Glory has been rectified tonight, although, like I had mentioned just a few moments ago, earlier in the program, that I would much rather, any day of the week, have a card underbuilt and completely blow my expectations rather than have the best build in the world and then the card is horrible. Obviously, that just can't happen. Now, in regards to, quote-unquote, once again, too much Mexican talent being used at the Mexican tapings, you need to understand a couple of things if you're going to levy that kind of criticism at the company. First off is, they just signed a major TV deal with Mexico, or I should say Mexican broadcaster, 52X. So they signed that deal, and I'm going to say that that was in either late July or early August. So now you fast forward 1 month to September and you're getting tapings there. What's the number one way to get people to tune into your program is if you have characters that they know and are familiar with, so that they have some sort of a touchstone to be able to get in touch or to be able to connect essentially with your product. So that's why it makes sense, a ton of sense, to bring in Mexican talent, a lot of the Latino flavor talent. A lot of people maybe didn't realize that when they were in Canada, you saw a lot of Ali, a lot of Petey Williams, a lot of Tyson Ducks, a lot of... his name is escaping me right now. He's Desmond Xavier's partner. Oh, Wentz. But anyways, see, you saw a ton of Canadian talent during the Canadian tapings. I don't think you just realized it because, or I don't think a lot of people realized it because they're featured quite prominently on regular Impact television, regardless, right? But here in Mexico, you got a lot of that Latino flavor. Like I said, you had your Dragos and Aerostars, and the ones that I had mentioned previously to this, Fabi Apache and so on and so forth. It's a win for the local market because they can go to that show and say, I know that I'm going to see star A, B, and C, and they're fantastic, so I know I'm going to have a good time. Now, on the flip side, it's great for us, the viewers at home, because, and in my personal opinion with this round of tapings, you're able to be exposed to a lot of talents that you would have never seen previous to this. So it's a win-win for anybody. It's a win-win for everybody, I should say. And anybody who thinks that there was too many luchadors and too much quote-unquote indie talent on these shows, you're out of your mind. That's the biggest thing that this company is promoting right now is inter-promotional workings. Well, they're getting their stars on AAA and Crash and things like that. So obviously the flip side is they're going to have AAA and Crash stars on their television. It's a win-win for everybody. And I will say this, when they get to the UK and when they go back to India, for example, I fully expect and suspect that you will see a large presentation of, if they're in UK talent, and if they're in India, a lot of Indian talent. Once again, you're trying to drum up local support in a local market. How do you do that? Well, you use local talent. And anybody who says that the Mexican talent was substandard or subpar or whatever, you're out of your fucking minds. Obviously, we didn't watch the same program. These were top-notch, tremendous talents used very well, and everybody looked good after all the tapings. So, to me, it was a win-win all the way around. Say what you want about doing them right before Bound for Glory, the tapings I'm talking about. Obviously, they had to capitalize on the new TV deal that they had signed with Mexico. So this whole thing, in a purely business perspective, makes complete sense. It doesn't matter that a few fans thought maybe, oh, they should have done the build. No, it doesn't matter about that. A lot of the times, business sense trumps, will say, hurting the feelings of a few fans who were pissed off because, oh, why are they doing fucking tapings in Mexico? They should have done the whole build in New York. Well, then what? It didn't make any sense. It made more sense for them to go to Mexico and do the tapings after signing that big deal. That's just the reality of it all. Once again, Impact is a business. You have to do things that make business sense.